Hello students, let us discuss module 5. In Python or any programming language, in many situations, we have to retrieve the data from the web and we have to process that data. Now in Python, how we can retrieve and process the data, how we can do it. Okay, that concepts we'll discuss in this particular module. Here we have 3 chapters: network programs, using web services, using databases and SQL. First, we will discuss about the networked programs. Okay, in this chapter, we will discuss on network protocols and Python libraries available to extract data from web. Any program get the information or data in different ways, maybe from user input or from files or through internet. Now, to move the data across the network or internet, we use HTTP, that is Hypertext Transport Protocol. HTTP is the media or protocol through which we can retrieve web-based data. Now, what is protocol? Protocol is a set of predefined rules that determine who is to go first, what they are to do, what the responses are to that particular message, who sends next message, and so on. Okay, all that information will get from the protocol. Okay, now here Python make use of socket for network connections and to retrieve the data. Socket is much like a file, except that a single socket provides a two-way connections between two programs. Socket is bidirectional data path to a remote system. You can both read from and write to the same socket. If you write something to a socket, it is sent to the application at the other end of the socket. If you read from the socket, you are given the data which the other application has sent. Okay, now we'll discuss one simple program. Okay, this program will retrieve the data from the web page. Before discussing the program, first we will discuss some of the terminologies used in this program. First one is AF underscore INET. Okay, this is an address family or IP address family that is used to designate the type of address that your socket can communicate with. When you create a socket, you have to specify its address family and then you can use only addresses of that type with the socket. Then we have sock underscore stream. Okay, this is the constant value indicating the type of socket. Okay, here sock underscore stream means that is the TCP socket. It works as a file stream and is most reliable over the network. Okay, suppose if you want to create the UDP socket, you have to write sock underscore, then we have to use the constant dgram. DGRAM means that is the UDP socket. Then we have port. Okay, here along with this my sock dot connect method, we have one number that is 80. Okay, what is that 80? That is the port number. Port is a logical endpoint. Port 80 is one of the most commonly used port numbers in the transmission control protocol. Now, the command to retrieve the data must use line encoding and it must end with slash r slash n slash r slash n, that is 2CRLF, two carriage return and line feed that we have to write at the end of this get method. Okay, next we have the method encode. Okay, this encode method applied on the strings will return bytes representation of the string. Okay, instead of that encode method, we can attach a character B at the beginning of the string for the same effect. Okay, next method, that is decode. Decode method returns a string decoded from the given bytes. Okay, then here we have two methods, send and receive. Send method transmit TCP message, again receive method that will receive the TCP message. Now when you run this program, we will get some information related to the web server of the website which we are trying to scrap. Then we'll get the data written in that particular web page. In this program, we are extracting 20 bytes of data at a time. The extracted data is decoded and printed. When the length of the data becomes less than 1, the loop is terminated. Okay, here in this program, the output of this program start with headers which the web server sends to describe the document. Uh, Here we have content type. Content type header indicates the document is plain text document. After server sends us the header and then sends the actual data of the file. Okay, here file, that is file name, that is romeo.txt. Okay, this example shows how to make a low level network connection with sockets. Sockets can be used to communicate with a web server or with a mail server. However, since the protocol that we most commonly used is HTTP, that is web protocol. Python has a special library specifically designed to support the HTTP protocol for the retrieval of document and data over the web. Okay, here first we have to create the socket, then connect that socket with particular port, then we can send the message or command through that port. Then here that send message that contains the website name, and through receive method you can just receive the message from the website. Okay, next we will discuss how you can retrieve the image over HTTP. Okay, in the previous section we retrieved the text data from the web page. Similar logic can be used to extract images on the web page using HTTP. In this program, we extracting the image data in the chunks of 5120 bytes at a time. Store that data in string. Here we are storing that data in one variable data. Then trim off the headers and then store the image file on the disk. When we run this program, the amount of data retrieved from the internet is displayed in cumulative format. Okay, here cumulative format. At the end, the image file will be stored in current working directory. Okay, here that file name is stuff.jpg. You can see here that this URL, that is content type header, indicates the body of the document is an image file. Okay, here that is the image file. Once the program completes, you can view the image data by opening the file stuff.jpg in an image viewer. Okay, you can hear that file name that is we are retrieving, that is the stuff.jpg. Again, as the program runs, you can see that we do not get 5120 characters each time. We call the receive method. We get as many characters as have been transferred across the network to us by the web server at the moment we call receive method. Okay, in this example, we either get 1460 or 2920 characters each time. We request up to 5120 characters of data. Again, this result may be different depending on your network speed. Also note that on the last call to receive, we get 1681 bytes, which is the end of the stream, and in the next call to receive we get a zero length string that tells us that server has called close on its end of the socket, and there is no more data uh, for processing, right? Okay, next we will discuss retrieving the web pages with URL lib. Python provides simpler way of web page retrieval using the library URL lib. Here, web page is treated like a file. URL lib handles all of the HTTP protocol and header details. Once the web page has been opened with the method URL lib dot URL open, we can treat it like a file and read through it using a for loop. Okay, once you open that web page using this library or using the method URL open that is defined under the library URL lib, after that we can treat that as that web page as file. Okay, here when the program runs, we only see the output of the contents of the file. Okay, the header are still sent, but the URL lib code consumes the header and only return the data to us. Okay, for example, we have one program. This program retrieved the data from the file romeo.txt and then count the number of words that is present in that particular file. Okay, after using this particular method, that's URL lib.url open, later we can treat that web page as the file. That content we can treat as one file. Okay, here we are creating one dictionary. We are reading the content of that particular file line by line, and using the split method we are getting the word from each line. Then you can store the word number of words that is present in that particular file in one dictionary counts. Finally, you can print the total number of words that is present in that particular file. Next topic, parsing HTML and scraping the web. One of the common uses of this URL lib capability in Python to scrape the web. Web scraping is when we write a program that pretends to be a web browser and retrieves pages, then examines the data in those pages looking for patterns. For example, a search engine such as Google will look at the source of one page and extract the links to the other pages and retrieve these link pages by extracting the links and so on. Okay, same method you can use in Python also. Using that URL lib library, you can just parse the HTML and you can just scrap the web. Parsing HTML using regular expressions. Sometime we may need to parse the data on the web which matches a particular pattern. For this purpose, we can use regular expressions. Now we'll consider one simple program that extracts all the hyperlinks given in a particular web page. Okay, here we have the HTML code. href, a means that is the hyperlink. Okay, it will just extract all the hyperlinks given in that web page. Now how you can write the regular expression for that? Okay, here instead of writing this, you can write the pattern or regular expression like http colon 2 forward slash then dot plus and question mark. Okay, here dot plus question mark indicates that the match should be find smallest possible matching string. Now suppose if you want to write the regular expression, if you want to extract all the hyperlinks from the web page, how we can write the regular expression for that? Okay, here instead of plus we have to write star, that is dot star then question mark, and indicates extract all the hyperlinks from the web page. Parsing HTML using Beautiful Soup. That Beautiful Soup, that is one of the library. There are number of Python libraries which can help you parse HTML and extract data from the pages. Okay, as an example, we'll simply parse some HTML input and extract link using the library Beautiful Soap. You can download and install this library, or you can simply place this file, that is beautiful soap.py file, in the same folder as your application, and in your program you can use that library to extract the data from the web pages. Next, reading binary files using URL-lib. Sometimes you want to retrieve a non-text file such as an image or video file. The data in those files is generally not useful to print out, but you can easily make a copy of a URL to a local file on your hard disk using URL-lib. Okay, here one simple code. Once we execute this program, we can see the file, that is cover3.jpg, in the working directory in our computer. The program reads all of the data in at once across the network and stores it in the variable image in the main memory or your computer. Then opens the file cover3.jpg and writes the data out to your disk. Okay, here this will work if the size of the file is less than the size of the memory of your computer. However, if this is large audio or video file, this program may crash or at least run extremely slow when your computer runs out of the memory. In order to avoid memory overflow, we retrieve the data in blocks and then write each block to your disk before retrieving the next block. This way, the program can read any size file without using up all of the memory you have in your computer. Okay, here we have one simple example. In this example, we are retrieving the image file. Okay, here open this particular method. It will treat that web page as one single file. Then open that file using the open method. Initially size file equal to 0. Then image.read some bytes of data. Suppose that is end of file or length is less than 1, stop. Otherwise size equal to size plus length of information and write that information in one file. Finally, you can print the message. Characters are copied to that particular file. Thank you.